Okay, we're going to do something today that I've been putting off for the longest time. And I have to run a little sound test between my Chevy Volt and my Tesla Model X. I almost forgot what I had. And one of the things I want to do in this test is find out which one is quieter. Because I've had this sneaky suspicion. Let's turn on my air conditioning here. I've had this sneaky I've had this suspicion that the Volt, my Chevy Volt, might be quieter. I don't know. And it's possible because the rims I have on the Tesla Model X are those 22s, the sports performance ones. So there's less rubber between the rim and the tire. Whereas the Volt, there's a lot of rubber between the rim and the tire. Not rim and the tire, rim and the asphalt. Excuse me. So we're going to jump on the freeway, do about 65 miles an hour, and see kind of how that works out. Yeah, so let's go. The backup camera on this thing is convenient, but it's really slow to engage. So you put it in reverse, you don't get an instant notification. You don't get an instant. You don't get that. You don't get that instant. You don't get an instant video on your screen. From the Model X, it's always there. Even when you get into the vehicle, usually it's there. And if you turn it on, it's instantaneous. So I kind of like that a lot over sitting there putting it in reverse on the Volt, waiting and waiting and waiting for the camera to turn on. Not the worst thing in the world, though. But every time I get into this car, which I love, I sure get reminded at how tiny it is inside. I have, nothing's cramping me, but I'm right at the upper limits. Like my shoulder's almost touching this pillar here. So yeah, you don't have the spaciousness. So okay, that's and the backup camera on this, resolution-wise and brightness-wise, is horrible. But this is a 2011. They're better now. Actually, they don't exist anymore. Chevy Volt's kind of gone. So anything newer than the 2011 Volt is typically have a brighter screen. Any refresh version. So I got to give GM credit, man. This car is still great. I love it. My girlfriend uses it all the time now, but so I don't really get to drive it. When I do get in it, it's an odd feeling, especially how much smaller everything is to fit into here. But it's been a wonderful car, and it's been trouble-free. I can't think of anything I've had to take it in for that wasn't caused from an outside source. Car's still pretty quick for an electric car. The range right now that we're seeing on it here with Southern California climate, we're seeing about 31, 32 miles on a full battery charge, which, we work, my girlfriend works here in town, so yeah, works close by, the grocery store is close by, so running around the city is no problem at all on electricity. And yet we could still drive to Mexico if we wanted to, just start using gas then. So the car's been fantastic, and the beginning range for our little electric car when we bought it new, was hovering around 41 miles. So we've lost about 10 miles since 2011, and it doesn't seem to have changed. We don't seem to be any lower than that. Once we got down to this 31 mile range, it hasn't changed at all. It keeps sitting there. So we might have reached its depletion level that it's going to get to at least for the next 5 to 10 years. And if that's the case, and this car went from 2011 to 2029, 2030, I'm going to be pretty impressed before it needs a battery pack swap, if they're making them by then. Probably somebody else will be, some private contractor will be putting them in or something. Or you won't be able to put a battery in this by then. But our Tesla, we're not worried about battery swaps on that. Hell, we're looking forward to a new battery technology swap with that, come 15 years from now or so, 20 years from now. That's a long ways off, though. See if I'm even still alive by then. Anyhow, I also give GM credit for the air conditioning in this thing. Good Lord, this thing has got great air conditioning. It's freezing cold in this. All right, heading up. So here we are in Ventura on the 126 freeway. There it is. Those of you who know this freeway know that the right lane is always smooth and quiet, and the left lane is kind of bumpy. So we're going to get measurements from both sides of the lane, and the type of freeway we're on is concrete with engraved lines in them. They're kind of noisy on rubber tires. So yeah, there's that. Let's speed up to a nice 65. There we go. Turn our AC down. I don't want to be measuring the AC sound. Up. 85. So no vehicles around us. Sometimes we get a vehicle going by and we can kind of hear it. Looks like about 84. Hanging about 84. We'll move into a noisier lane here in a second. So this lane may not be so much as noisier as it is just bumpier. You can feel it in the suspension. It's making the tires going up and down. $84. So still the same. Move back over in the smoother lane. And we're about 84, 85. We'll try this again in the Model X. Yeah. Okay, we're in the Model X now. We're gonna run the same freeway, run the same test, but only in the Model X now. Tesla, obviously. I should have to say that. Let's turn our air conditioning down. I don't want to be recording that, especially with the sound meter here. So we'll get the same lane, same freeway, same patch there. Let's see here. Chevy Volt. Somebody's got a Chevy Volt. Okay. Okay, come on. I suspect the Tesla's not going to be any quieter. I think when it comes just to the wind noise over the vehicle, especially over the rear view mirrors, along the windows, when you're talking 65-mile-an-hour wind, I don't think there's a lot could be done. What were we seeing? 82 on the Chevy Volt, right around that ballpark range. Here, this is nice quiet asphalt we're on right now. I like asphalt. It's the quietest thing you can ride on that I'm aware of. Unfortunately, it really just kind of seems to fall apart. It doesn't last as long as this concrete does. Not that I'm some expert in freeway road toppings. Put autopilot on. God, I love autopilot. Jesus. Talk about going on a long trip with just relaxation. Okay, so this guy's not going to do 65. I have to go around him because we got to do the same speed limit. Come on, buddy. Just the speed limit would be super cool. And let's back off a little bit from him. I've had this vehicle now over a year, and I have, before I tell you, on the Chevy Volt, I've had it since 2011, and I had 88,000 miles on that car. And on this, I have 22,000 in a little over a year. So, yeah, you figure. All right, 67. No, I don't want 67. I want 65. There we go. So there's 65, just to make the test fair. Make sure no wind's blowing on my microphone here, my sound meter. This is a sound meter from Radio Shack. So, I don't know if you can see it. 84. 87. 85. Of course, we're not averaging here. We got a little bumps now and then. 84, 86, 85. So it almost looks like, of course, I got a whole bunch of cars going by me, so I can hear their noise from their tires. Hopefully we can just be by ourselves here shortly. The air conditioning air is turned way down. Almost off, but it can't stand off. Alright, good. So honestly, I'm going to say we are about maybe 2 decibels more on the average. Maybe 3 decibels more. I think we're hovering around 82, 84, 85 on the Volt. I got a little tiny squeak way in the back. That's not the Tesla though, it's one of the tools I have in the back. I'm trying to figure out which tool it is. It's really minute, but I can hear it now. Now it's bugging me. Maybe off the freeway here. Okay, squeak has kind of calmed down, and we're hovering between 84 and 86. So, kind of too close to call. Maybe 1 dB difference. Yeah. And I think that's road noise. What'll be interesting is someday maybe I could change the tires and rims out on this. Make it, get those smaller rims, fatter tires kind of thing. See if a little less road noise comes through. Other than that, that's it. That's where we stand. Although I always thought the Volt was pretty damn quiet on the freeway as you went down the road, obviously. I was always impressed with that. So, there you go. Take it with however you want to.